What is up, Booger Beans? Welcome back to another episode of Adventures with Boog. On this episode, we start putting in the ceiling. Almost forgot my tape measure. Alright, Booger Beans, so what we need to do is we are going to build ribs for our bus to brad nail the ceiling panels too. So the cost of shiplap is crazy expensive, like between $6 and $9 a board. So it'd be ridiculously pricey to do that in our bus. So we're going to use Roxul insulation. We're going to put that up. We're going to put these ribs up, and then we're going to basically screw or brad nail the paneling to those ribs. These ribs we're using them to go right beside the ribs that are in the bus, so that we can basically have the paneling flush with the steel that's in the bus, and that way we don't lose any ceiling height. With the 1.5-inch foam that we put on the floor, our ceiling height is getting very, very tight for me and for anyone that's even a little bit taller than me. So that makes it a little bit difficult, but we're trying our best, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to cut up this sheet of 3/4-inch MDF and start making ribs out of it. Okay, Booger Beans, so one thing you're gonna do when you are doing this roof pieces, you're gonna be a lot of trial and error. It looks like, well, I used the existing end piece, the steel that was in there, but it looks like maybe it's a little bit off. So it got us close, but it's definitely a couple cuts and fitting, cut and fitting, cut and fitting. It's hard, it's a lot of complex curves. So once you get one that works, make it as like a jig, a template. That's what I'm trying to do, and then use that for the rest of the ribs. So that's the plan right now. Also, what do you guys think about the new camera, new lens, new setup, new microphone? We're trying some new stuff out for 2019, and I hope you guys are ready for all that coming towards you. All right, let's try and get this fit in the bus. So as you guys can see, we're trying to get the edge of this piece of MDF right in line with the bottom of this piece of steel. That way we can put our paneling right up flush with it, and we won't lose any ceiling space. So this is actually looking pretty good. We're a little bit out in the corner here, just a little bit, but it's pretty darn good. We want to make this a little bit thicker, obviously. We don't want to have that much gap up there. We want to have it more like over here. But this is just a good template to build the corners on the length that we need to cut, as well as the height all the way up to here. So we might actually just trim this guy down a little bit more, maybe up to this line. That will bring this corner down, which will help to bring the rest of this down. So I'm going to do that right now with the saw right there. Okay, Booger Beans, so here is kind of what we're going for. You can see the piece of MDF on the outside of that rib. Currently I just have it clamped in place. I have a little notch for the wires right up there, just so that it lets the wires through. Then what we are going to do is we're going to PL400 those in place, and also screw them, pre-drill and screw them in place, and then we'll be able to put the paneling right up against the steel and brad nail the paneling to the ribs. So that's what these are for. Hopefully they're strong enough to hold it, and we'll be able to screw them in nice and strong to the ribs as well. So that's the plan right now. Alright, Booger Beans, so as you can see above my head, we got most of those up. So we put about 4 or 5 screws in each one, but I only did as much as I have paneling and insulation for, because I basically wanted to do a test of whether or not this is going to work at all. So I've got it up. It looks like it's working pretty good. One thing I want to show you guys is right here. I did double up the bar, because this is where the end of the 8-foot mark is going to be. It's actually like 7'6" or something weird like that. So we're going to have 2 panels on here. and I wanted to brace that intersection so you don't get any splitting or anything like that. So on both sides we're gonna have two ribs so that we can double up the strength there. And also just moving forward in 2020, we're gonna try and make these episodes more like a tutorial on exactly what you need to do to start your little project, because what we've been doing is we kind of like building something but not having enough to actually finish it in one episode. So I'm trying to bring a full complete tutorial per episode, and then we can finish off the rest of that part, so the ceiling or whatever, just by ourselves. And then when we have more information or a new project, then we can teach you guys about that project and keep moving forward that way, just so that it saves us time, but it also saves you time watching stupid time lapses and crap that's just useless for you, right? So we're gonna try and narrow it down and get a little bit more direct and a little bit better content for you guys. So now I think the plan is I gotta cut one more rib, and then I'm going to probably start insulating maybe. I'll show you the insulation we got and how we're gonna put it up. Okay guys, so this is the insulation that we got for the roof. I just got one bundle because that's really all we can afford right now. But it is a exterior insulation called comfortboard. It's a rock insulation, so it's fine with water. It doesn't get wrecked with water. It's vapor permeable and it's fire resistant. So that's what we're going to be using in the roof. And then right beside it over there, we got what we're going to be using in the walls. And that was actually just a find that my dad found on Facebook Marketplace. So a good deal on that. We got 2 bundles, which will basically do the entire bus for 50 bucks. So really good deal there. And let's get this guy up in the roof. This stuff is actually quite stiff, as you can see. It doesn't really bend as much as batt insulation. And how you cut it is you actually use a big fixated bread knife is how you cut it. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring the distance between the wood and the other rib. Then I'm gonna cut this guy where it needs to be cut, and then I'm gonna put that in. You wanna make sure that this is tight and fills the entire void of the ceiling space. If it doesn't, then A, it will fall down, and B, it will not do the best job at insulating. So make sure you cut it as best and as accurate as you can to fit the entire ceiling space. So there is the first piece. As you can see along the edges, it's nice and tight all the way around, and same with this edge, nice and tight. Okay, so that's what you want, so that this batt actually holds itself up, so that's pretty good. We got that full insulation of bundle put up, or that full bundle of insulation, I guess I had that backwards. We got that all put up, and it actually goes up really nice. Every single cut we did, we made it about 1/8 of an inch larger than the opening, because then we were able to basically stick it up. And unfortunately we had to squish kind of the sides a little bit, but it holds the insulation up there by itself. So let's just take a quick look here behind me. As you guys can see, those batts are all up. There you go, just like that. Luckily we were able to use a lot of the insulation, so anything that was like cut off and kind of left over, we would take and do all the sides. So you can see all the sides, we got all the way up to there, and same on the other side. And all we've got left is that little pile in the corner there, a little bit of leftover, so we'll use that elsewhere. But now we're ready to put up some, I think we're gonna do 1x4s. We were gonna do paneling, but I've had a long discussion with my dad and we just don't think it's gonna work. So we're gonna try and return that piece of paneling, and then we're gonna try and get some 1x4s in here. So as you guys will notice, we've only done this like back corner a little bit because I wanted to do it basically as an experiment to see what's gonna work, what's not gonna work, different things before committing to doing the entire rest of the bus. So that's why we've only done this little bit in the corner. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna go pick up some of that paneling or some of that 1x4s hopefully tomorrow, maybe the day after, and try and get this all edited in one video. Try to have it out to you guys. And tonight I went and got some 1x4s today, And now we're gonna start insulating the walls because the roof is too frosty to put PL400 and acoustical sealant on the ribs yet. So we're waiting for that to hopefully heat up tonight. If not, we'll have to do it another day. So that's what we're gonna do now. All right, booger beans. So we got all the insulation. Well, we got one more bag of insulation, but we got what we can do for tonight done. So we put the insulation in the walls to, again, start help heating it up in here more. The roof is too frosty tonight in order to start putting up vapor barrier on the roof because we want to acoustically insulate the roof. But as you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that up in there, but there's actually frost on the ribs. So that frost is not going to allow the acoustical sealant to stick to the ribs or the PL400 to stick to the ribs, so that's not going to work at all. So we decided to do all the sides, and I think that's all it's going to be for this week's episode. I think we're kind of stuck here until it warms up, and it looks like we're going into a deep freeze for a little bit here, so it's supposed to drop down pretty cold tonight, and then over the weekend down to mid minus 20s. So that's gonna be pretty chilly to be working in the bus, and a little too cold to be using glues and that kind of stuff. It just freezes the glue and then it doesn't do anything. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if it helped you out along the way, go down, hit that like button, and don't smash the subscribe button. Just lightly tap it on your way to watch the next video. We have been growing like crazy right now, and I think you guys are starting to wreck the subscribe button. So just be nice to it, lightly tap it, and watch some more of our videos, and we'll continue working on the bus. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night.